some women, they're
Hey,
right.
look, don't stress with the
It don't happen as much with the G spot.
I did look at the package before to make sure that I was like, okay, I can do that. I can do that.
Yes, you know, probably ain't no race in the world been through what Black African Americans have been through. But also that came along with that, came along the program, came along with this, and the fear. The least amount of cost.
Yeah, the least amount of cost. You gonna take that.
I'm asking you a question. Can the president make a law his own?
The ones that Capitol, that was a front to anybody that's in here that ever said, I'm American. For years, hundreds of years, white people always felt that it's not theirs and they can take it.
Piscataway Road, man. We got a full house tonight, man. And tonight's topic is very near and dear to a lot of us in here. You know, we're talking about the student athlete, the pressures of being, top tier student athletes struggling with, being top tier at their respective sport, as well as being, top tier with their academics. So we're gonna hear straight from them. Tony,
What's up?
what we got?
What's up, man? We got Lamont Roach here, professional boxer. We got Lil Roy. Understand Lil Roy over here. Star high school basketball player, good college basketball player, man. So I just want to talk about, man, like, what was it like being that dude from a young age? Like, what pressure did you feel going into high school, leaving high school, going to college? We're going to start there. Like, what was that like before we get into this? What was it like being that dude at a young age? What pressure did you feel?
Me, I'm gonna tell you right now, somebody in here is calling me every day, what you gonna do? Because I play football. For the most part, football was my first love. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, Big Rodney was over there calling me every day, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Going from Little League to high school, I was going to 9th grade. And he wanted me to play at Wise, where I went to high school at. So, it was like, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? As the summer keep going, I'm like, no, I don't know. And he was like, you gonna come back or you gonna play? You gonna come back or you gonna play? I was like, no, I might. So I'm like, who coming back? So it was just like, it was a lot of pressure. Then me, small, and smaller than athletes that play football, basketball, and all that. Everybody that came up with. So like, just being in school and maintaining like to be an athlete. It's just like, there's a lot of pressure because, once you get to high school, you ain't got no choice but to have good grades and play because they ain't gonna let you. You know what I'm saying? So, it was but I didn't play. I ain't play. I didn't play football in high school. I continued to box. And, but it's just a lot. It's a lot to go to tie into that, like sports for school. Because I played a sport. I did a sport outside of school. So it wasn't too much pressure, but at the end of the day, it's the same pressure because my mother was like, man, you gotta do X, Y, and Z so you can stay in the gym.
So what's your pressure on your mom? Roy, we all know you had Big Roy in your ear early. Future players before you even got to O'Connell. Talk about what was it like having to live up to the hype, being that guy. They get not going to the other school in Highsville because you wanted to beat them guys.
I'd say when I first started, I wasn't even a man. So I met Knox and Juice when I was 9, and I tried to play football. They cut that out early. They cut that out early. I tried. I was there at all these games and all that, man, showing support to all of them. But I couldn't play. But I was never the man at first. But I got it up the mud. Was in the gym every day with Juice. You know what I'm saying? And from there, it just went from me being a nobody and being the best player on the team when I was with future players, and then as I got older, I went off to play with DC Assault, now DC Premier. Went to O'Connell. Was not the man there, you know, everybody know Melo. Yeah, so Melo was the man there, so, you know, I played my role though, and I, you know, got the looks that I wanted and stuff like that. But, you know, I think at like high school for me though, it was just more so, I was on a high horse, and I say, you know, the pressure that I had was pretty much from everybody. See, I didn't have juice and knocks in my ear as much no more. It was just my dad, and then I got, you know, college coaches trying to figure out what school I'm trying to go to. So, and there was a lot going from, you know, public school to private school.
Well, man, a lot of dudes in here coach you, been around you. So I'm gonna open the floor up, let them guys ask some questions, get some different perspectives.
Yeah, I think my question to Roy is, you just kind of hit on it. What was like the biggest transition for you going from a public to a private? You know, like I know, like, you know, especially in the basketball scene, you know, the WCAC schools are coming at the athletes hard, and a lot of them that they're coming from, that they're going after are public school kids. I know sometimes that transition can be a little tough.
Yeah, so public school was just, you know, basic education. You go to private school is advanced. So half of the stuff I learned, you know, in public school, it didn't correlate or transfer over when I got to private school, so I was struggling. I'm talking like I passed enough just to play each semester, like part of the school year.
So I want to ask you a question over there. I might ruffle some feathers out there, but it is what it is. You said you were struggling, right? We all knew what your basketball talents was. We all knew coaches had no problem supporting you in basketball. What was the academic support like?
To be honest with you, I had to go to it was like a tutoring situation, but it was like an alternative tutor situation. So like it was strictly for like athletes.
Okay.
So I had the help, but I didn't get the help until it was too late. If that makes sense. Like,
elaborate. What you mean?
So once we figured out I was struggling in these classes, I started, you know what I'm saying, just like lack of homework, you know, paying attention to class. I basically was like, fuck it, I'm not going to just do it. And then, you know, my coach was like, nah, you know, we need you to play X, Y, Z, and third. So I ended up doing a little tutoring thing, and my grades came up at the time went on.
I got another question for Roach. Being, you know, that you were doing your independent sport, your boxing and everything, and from the outside looking in, I know what the man that had on you as far as training and stuff like that. How did you kind of like stay balanced with your training? And then, you know, I know you was doing tournaments and stuff in high school. And how did you handle all of that and all the pressure of trying to become pro at such a young age?
I mean, well, my process was a little different. Like, the demand in school wasn't as big as Roy's because I went to a public school. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, when I first got to high school, I was having fun and all that, but I turned it around and I figured that like, I figured out that high school was in public school. Easy. I already knew private school just because everybody I played football with, basketball with, everybody, they went to private school. So I already knew the trouble they was having. Like Roy, I already knew what Roy was going to say before he even said that. And then on top of that, it's more room for error in public school as far as like your behavior and all that. They real strict over there in private school. In public school, kind of like did what we want, and then to the point where, you know, it gets extreme or something like that. So like staying balanced, but really, to be honest, what really kept me balanced was that I knew that I was the best no matter what. I knew that I was going to be the best person in the ring whenever I got in the ring at the time. Like, so I knew that, and then I had my cousin Boogie in my ear, like he was hard, like he was hard, he was warm, he was like, man, you're going to be the best. He told me I was going to be the best when I was 10 years old.
Hey, Roach. God bless. Hey, Roach, I have a question. Can I talk about your own? Can I ask a question for you? We talking about pressure. And we talking about, you know, what you had to deal with as a star athlete, as an athlete that of your caliber, losing home. you know, what challenges came with that? Like nobody, like we really, I never really picked your brain about it, or maybe I asked you about it.
Yeah, like,
Cause he's well respected.
yeah, nationally, damn near internationally.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, it came on at a later stage in my life, very unexpected, but you know, that's a man I seen for 13 years straight, damn near every day of my life.
God damn.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like a second father to me.
Sure.
Even though he's my cousin, he's older than me, he's my dad. And not only did he teach me, he taught my dad too. So like,
this was a game.
the hardships that came with that is just like, you know, no matter how hard he was, he always instilled that spirit in me. You know, that winning spirit, that spirit that he had on him, he always instilled that into me. And,
You feel like you carry that on?
yeah, for sure, for sure. And it even shows like when I catch myself trying to, you know, teach the youngins that's coming up behind me and all that.
Echo some of the shit he said.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
So, you know, I just admire what he told my father, because my father, you know, he stepped in and took over that.
Yeah.
You know, that's a lot to take over. He went in the amateur program and got 10 professional fights on his own, managing and training. So, you know what I'm saying? That that was the hardship right there. It's just that you can't replace his spirit.
Yeah.
You can't replace that.
You don't need to, it's with you.
Yeah.
It's with you.
So I got a question for both of you. And Coach, you had mentioned it earlier about when you stepped in the ring, you was always going to be the best. My question to both of you, on those days that you weren't your best, because sometimes at a young age, I feel for you guys at a young age now, because so many people put so many expectations on you. So it's almost better now at a young age to be average, because people don't expect anything. But when you are good and you are considered one of the best, when you're not at your best, now you got everybody coming to you. Come on, man, what's up? You better wake up. You gotta do this. You know, you gotta be better than that. You know, you sleeping. You know, whatever. Now, as an athlete and as a premier athlete, you already know I wasn't at my best. And to hear everybody just keep drilling it in on you, you gotta do this, you know what you gotta do. So my thing is, when I see it happening so much, I just want to yell at people and say, yo, leave them the fuck alone. And I actually had to do that to my own son one time. We were at a jamboree over at Kentland somewhere, and he had a decent jamboree. He had some plays that he probably should have made better. And when we walked off the field, like 10 people stopped him. You gotta do this, you gotta get in your back pedal, this, da. And I had to get to a point like, yo, leave him the fuck alone. Because you all have so much pressure on you to now always live up to that expectation. So you can just talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I go first. So, as far as the pressure, you know, like, everybody know I had juice at a young age, and I had my dad. Like, that right there built me to where I'm at right now. And a lot of people don't know, like, I still got a lot of people waiting on me to go pro.
Absolutely.
Like, I got a whole 3-year-old daughter right now, you know what I'm saying? So, I still got family members like, all right, I ain't gonna say this now, but like, as soon as he go overseas or as soon as he sign with a team, oh yeah, we gonna ask for that check. We gonna ask for this, we gonna ask for that. So like the pressure, I mean for me, personally, it's still on. And I had to make a couple of detours in life, so it's like those detours, that's when people like, oh, well, why you ain't do this? Oh, why you ain't do that? You know what I'm saying? But like, I'm sitting up here, I'm like, I ain't gotta explain why I did X, Y, Z. Cause like, nobody could like really, you know what I'm saying, walk in my shoes.
Absolutely.
You feel me? Like,
100%, Charlie. Absolutely.
and I think like right now, I'm glad that you actually said that though, cause like, it still go on.
Oh, absolutely.
Like every day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like,
So and that was kind of where I was leading to, like, kind of how do you internalize that? How do you deal with it?
I mean, I just
That's a
go
pressure
about my
like
day,
shit.
like.
Yeah.
Some of that road answer, I got a follow-up question.
To start off, like when we was young, like how you said, like how do we handle that, or you know, for me, I had damn near all y'all in my head, you know. And we had a squad. I mean, it was a lot of good players. It was we had a mob at a young age, and we played both sports. Like we played football and basketball. So like, and I boxed. So you gotta think, coming from the gym straight to the football field. You know, if we did something, they on our ass hard, heavy. You gotta do X, Y, Z, blah, blah, blah. Cause we had so much success and we were so good, and then when we wasn't at our best, we got our ass handed to us in practice. Practice. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, it made us harder. It made us harder, and it made us more resilient and all that. But like you said, when you said about you telling people please spread the love, like I agree, like, but some coaches or some adults, they don't see that in the time being because that switch is turned on, especially if they're a coach. It's like, they want the best for us, and then they trying to drill it. Some coaches can't separate it sometimes. They can't be like, man, all right, you'll get it back before they go rah 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 rah. Like, do this, do that. You got to get back on. You know what I'm saying? So, like, some people don't know how to separate it, and as a kid, you never know how they'll take it. Like, not just right then and there in that moment. Like when they go home. When they go home, they feel like, man, I just got cussed out. Right. I just got cussed out. That's why I missed a layup in a national tournament. Wide open. This man cussed me out so bad. The referee was looking at him like, man, you supposed to be talking to that kid like that? You know what I'm saying? So like, but I was hard though. I was tough. We was used to that. We were used to that, and it made us, strong. And then now, I'm on a professional stage, so like it's a broader horizon of people. Like, you got your trolls, you know what I'm saying? You got people that secretly hating on you. Yep. You hear word through the grapevine that he ain't gonna do this, he ain't gonna do that. And they be from here. They been with you at first. And then now they like, oh, he ain't gonna win that. You know what I'm saying? So when I got my first draw, when I got the draw that I wasn't supposed to get. Right. I felt terrible, man. I knew you did, cuz I wasn't looking at. The first thing I did was pick up my phone. That was the worst thing I could have done. Worst thing I did. See all the comments, like, he should have lost, he should have did this, all that, and I'm like, and you don't want to see that at that time.
We're gonna come back to that.
Hey, I want to ask the room, it's the other youth players.
Exactly, I want to say this.
How y'all give a comment about what it was like playing and the pressures of.
Can I ask him a specific question?
All right, go ahead.
So, your first high school experience, going to DeMatha, what was it like going to a powerhouse high school, knowing like you ain't the dude, but you got that dog in you where you gonna grind, be that dude, feeling like in the back of your head, I ain't really getting the fair shot, the look that I should be getting. Like, how did that affect you mentally?
Wait a minute. You ain't gonna say we was like a second tier. You talking about leaving us going to a powerhouse like we was some garbage. What?
No, he was there first.
What are you talking about?
Oh no, I thought you was talking a little Rodney. My bad.
He is, but
he left there first.
He was there first. It don't matter. He was at a.
That's like you just.
Man, you only here to play music, man. Hey, you're late, man.
How did that affect you? And then, like, what did you use, or how did you get through that mentally?
So you asking me from my experience from.
Hey, if I can just stop you for 1 second, just talk a little bit louder so they can catch you on that.
No, when you first got there, you knowing like I'm at this big high school, I'm gonna have to get out the mud and really get what I need to get. But let's talk about that. Like, knowing I'm not the man, but I gotta kind of grind.
As far as like coming into the door, my first instinct is always coming with a confidence, with a chip on my shoulder. So I came in with that, but what it turned out to be was a humbling experience. And in practice, I had my first day. I had a couple of plays that were happening back to back, which helped me keep that chip on my shoulder until one of our star players, Anthony McFarland, gave me a humble experience. He put me in my place. So it kind of helped. It kind of basically tell me that like, yeah, I was the man somewhere else, but here I'm not gonna be the man. Somebody else is always working. It's always somebody better, faster, stronger. So it helped me at the end of the day. Like besides practice, I gotta do more. So that's how I took it. Like coming into the door, I just gotta do more. And every day I would try to do more, do more.
Yeah, just wanted to go around the room, you know, Calvin, you know, other people that's here, that playing sports, you know, how y'all feel, what was the pressure, what was the moments for you that, you know, leaving, maybe you was the man, cause I know you was recruited, so you coming from your boys club team, getting ready to go into high school.
Yeah, so my experience was.
I'm sorry, can you just tell people your name, like what you did, cause everybody might not know you.
So, for those who don't know, my name is Calvin Hickerson. I started out playing football at Bishop O'Connell. Then I transferred, went to Wise for my senior year. Ended up winning the state championship that year. Ended up being a back-to-back year. Undefeated, all that, but linebacker.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Make sure y'all speak up just a tad bit so they can, so the mics can catch our voices.
Alright.
They used to us being real loud here.
Yeah,
I got one. He right here.
He right here. Alright, so first going to O'Connell, recruited out of 8th grade. Fortunate to get a scholarship to play football there. Went there, ended up playing both ways, tight end and linebacker. Started both ways, so I was on the field a lot. So I was used to being valuable, you know what I'm saying? Even from a little kid, every team I was on used to win a championship. So success was just ingrained in my brain from the time I was around 6 or 7 years old. So go to O'Connell, freshman year, end up playing JV, end up practicing with varsity, so I'm getting experience both ways. But we don't have the best season on JV. Still looked at as a captain, we went 3-7. So of course, I'm upset, I'm not feeling it, you know what I mean? That's pressure right there because this is like foreign territory for me. You know what I mean? When I was in middle school, matter of fact, my last year, my 8th grade year, everybody was older than me on my team, so they went to high school. I was stuck. And my pound ball team sucked that year. But we had an all-star team that was going down to Florida. We had tryouts. And we had Marlboro Mustangs, Spirit of Faith Warriors. We had all them guys in the AYF. And I was just so happy to be the only person on my team to make the team. And go down Florida, we ended up placing 3rd in the nation. And we only had practice for like 2 weeks. So I'm like, you know, every time I went down, I felt a little, I had a bounce back that took me right back up. So back to O'Connell, sophomore year, what we do? We was 5-5. I'm playing varsity this time. Went 5-5. Was about to go to the playoffs. Ended up losing that game. It's another bummer. Now the pressure of college recruitment coming in. I'm a sophomore. I'm starting to play a little bit. Body developing and all that. And then you start hearing the voices. People seeing your talent on the field. They like, you know, what's coaches coming through the door, they talking to you, you feeling a little, your head getting a little big because you like, it's notoriety, they picking you out of class and stuff, people see it. So I always just wanted more regardless of what it was. And junior year, ended up having a coaching change and stuff, seeing terrible, even worse. The flow fell out. You know what I'm saying? By this time I'm crushed. Like, I'm a junior. A lot of the people I'm balling against, I'm either outplaying them, outworking them when I'm training off the field with them, or I'm just outright better than them, you know what I mean? Or they telling me, you the one with the game, you feel me? And they the one with the scholarship. So I'm looking at myself, I'm looking at the recruitment, I'm like, what can I do more? My grades okay, they're getting better. And then junior year, coach wanna move me out my position. So now coaches can't even see me do what I do best. I'm playing D-line and DN because our team just need people, the best players in the best spots where they gashing us at. So made the decision to leave, ended up transferring to Wise. I had multiple options when I entered. I had a quote-unquote transfer portal when I was in high school, so I had multiple schools interested in me, wanted me to go there. Ended up going to Wise without a guarantee to play. Go there in the summer. I'm a senior. Only person I know at that school happened to be my god brother, who was a 4-star recruit. So he the man. Everybody know his god brother coming in. They want to see what he doing coming from the WCAC. So the target on my back. I'm a senior linebacker. So they like, what are you gonna do? How you gonna play? What's the translation between that private school and public school lifestyle? And
what type of pressure was that? What kind of pressure was that to know that I'm the man, everybody depending on me, I got to do, and now everybody notices me? What was that about? What was that like?
So I actually ended up leaving like in the middle of my junior year during the school year. So I transferred there right after they won their first state championship of that span. We had like a 3-4 year span of winning a state championship. So 2016 they won it. Boom, I transferred in right after. They like, okay, boom, we see you. We see your size. We see you working out with us. You look good in the gym. Let's see what your game look like 7-on-7. The pressure was kind of just, I went from a school that had probably about 700 or something people to a school of 2,200. So the pool just got way bigger.
Stop. It wasn't even 2,200. Wise at that point in time when you went in there had 4,000 kids. So they had 4,000 kids.
When I was there.
Yeah, 4,000. You went from 1,400 to 4,000.
Good.
Pressure. And it was weird because I remember my first day in there, came in like the middle of the day. And my father, like, when I got my schedule and everything, I was about to go to my class. My father stopped me and he was like, let's pray real quick. And I'm like, well, you know what I'm saying? We religious, but we ain't never had this moment like that. I didn't understand it, you know what I'm saying? It was crazy. So I'm like,
yeah, pressure too, cuz.
Yeah, he like, man, I went to private school my whole life, so he like, man, we don't know what's about to, how this about to translate.
That prayer was for him.
At that height of the moment, Wise had all the fights, everything was going on at that time. So he like, man, we sending our kids to a war zone. You know what I'm saying?
I can attest to that. You know what I'm saying? We had kids from everywhere. We had kids from Southeast.
When you started, that's when they blended they took from every different district and put in the yard. So they put Glen Arden with Kentland, with dudes from Crossland, some dudes from Suitland. That way they put everybody in one pot and tell them to say get along.
Did with that being said, all them different neighborhoods, because that's dangerous in itself, especially today. Like the team solidify y'all as family.
Yeah,
that's what's up.
We had a great coaching staff. Great coaching staff with the long-term staff. He made sure we was in unison. It started from the top to the bottom. You know what I'm saying? From the head coach.
That's incredible.
So we was all good, all locked in. You wasn't missing no workouts. You wasn't, man. It was no rebels on there. And if it was, you got weeded out real quick. You know what I mean? So during that summer, I worked my tail off just to show, like, I know something about the game of football. I know how to play, how to compete, and the coaches was impressed. So I got voted as a captain by the coaches before the season even started.
Damn.
And I remember one time, like, we was in a practice and I didn't say something, and one of the players messed up, and the coach pulled me to the side. He was like, "Look, he messed up, but now I'm about to get on you because you know better, and you still sitting here being quiet like you knew. Everything that you've done so far has been correct, and these guys looked up to you and they followed you. You said something too, they ain't say nothing back to you, so why you being mute now? You knew it was wrong. I saw it when I looked in your face." So I'm like, man, now I really gotta, I'm 1 year in and I gotta get it. You know what I'm saying? I gotta make sure I'm on my P's and Q's every day. So,
hey guys, let me pose a question real quick to all the fellas. We got one from online. Online says, what regrets, if any, do you have for taking a path that you took? What regrets, if any,
you haven't,
if you have any, with the path that you took?
I would like, I'm gonna let you answer. I would like to rephrase that. I don't know.
Yeah, so he said if you have any regrets, if you don't have any regrets, then just talk about the past.
Wow! Hey yo! Wow!
I thought it made great. Hey man, listen, I know
Hey,
don't
incriminate yourself. Hey, Leroy. Hey, Roy, don't incriminate yourself.
Is that considered a regret or was it a learning lesson in your past?
Both.
Both.
Yeah.
He respected regret.
Yeah.
Share it with the room, man.
I'm in the lead right now, bro. That's on my daughter. If I didn't, yes.
So,
Yes.
so you see it as a setback.
Beyond.
Let me ask you this question: what did you learn from that? No, real talk, like what did you?
Hold on. Before you speak about it, listen. This is a podcast, and it's a bunch of moms and dads.
I'm already hip. That's why I ain't.
Hold on, I ain't saying not to. I'm just telling you, these kids, they need to learn because they don't understand how you can, the little thing that you think is innocent. How I can
Hey, I'm actually challenging you.
You only share it.
No,
no.
I'm praying for you, Roy. I'm praying for you because it's already done and you grown.
Yeah.
Somebody can learn from that experience. Put it out.
Hey, the real thing is it's the real shop talk.
Talk
Be
real.
real.
Talk
Be
real.
real.
Be real.
Talk about it. Let's talk about it.
So,
Talk to the agent first.
You want somebody to set it up first?
Nah, man. Nah, so at O'Connell, you was at O'Connell. I ain't
there with you.
That's what, yeah. He looked familiar.
Yeah, he was young. He was young. He
He was a
came
little bit
in.
younger, yeah.
Alright, so the situation occurred my sophomore year. We had just won the championship, mind you. Like, we just won it. We won the WCAC, we lost in the States. So I think it was like springtime, and you know, we all playing around in the school. Mind you, at O'Connell, it's a private school, so you know, you can't really, you're not supposed to be outside doing things out of the ordinary or whatever like that. Plus it's Catholic, so you know, we all in the auxiliary gym, and the girl was in there, you know what I'm saying, giving head to multiple people, and I just so happened to get it on videotape, you know what I'm saying, and that was the worst mistake of my life. Because not only did I did it, but like a few days after that happened, no, a whole year. Yeah, that's fast forward.
That's
My junior year,
the
junior
educational
year,
part that they need to know.
yeah, so my junior year comes around. I just had like a great summer, and like the beginning of the school year comes, and I think it's around October when all this stuff happened. So you know how everybody was doing like Throwback Thursday and all this, whatever, like remember this or whatever. So my dumb ass put this shit on IG, but I put it up there for 45 seconds, right? Right, yeah, I was a wild dude. If anybody know me, I was a wild dude. I put it up there for 45 seconds and I deleted it. But you know, when you refresh it on anybody else's phone, it'll still be up there. Damn. So a cheerleader, you know what I'm saying, screenshot and sent it to everybody. And that happened on a Sunday. By Wednesday, I was told that I had to leave because I was a good student at that time, so they didn't want to expel me. They asked me to withdraw from the school. But not only did that cost me my career playing basketball, that cost me like damn near my life. I almost went to jail because I was turning 18 2 weeks after that, November 8th. So for anybody,
What was the charge? What they call it?
Oh.
In the state of Virginia.
State of Virginia, it would have been child pornography. Child pornography.
What the fuck?
We was minors.
So let me
We was all like we was.
Let me help you. Even if you
was
are
17.
not an adult, if you record a female, if you record a minor female,
Don't say female. You
minor.
record.
Anybody.
A minor.
A minor.
It's a minor.
And you post it, that is child pornography.
That's child pornography.
It goes a little deeper than that too. Even if somebody you forward it again,
Exactly.
you'll still
Yes.
Once it's out, it's out.
Yeah.
It's to the public.
Once you pass it along.
Yeah, once it's to the public. That's
I've had another kid that went through the same thing. They didn't record it, they forwarded it, and they were on.
So now
That's Minnesota boy, Minnesota University.
Oh,
So what did you learn from that though?
Would you get the neck again? It's like I'm sorry.
What I learned from that was, man, just be mindful, like,
It's always good to have a neck trick.
be mindful of what you're doing, and, think before you do it, because it could cost you any given time. And that affected me to this day. I mean, I bounced back from it, but I had to find gaps and holes to, like, dig myself out the hole I was in.
So I want to ask this question to you and Roach. Roach, you being on a professional level, and you got the weight of being a professional, family on your back, people looking up to you from your neighborhood. You having to go through a detour, like you was here, and then you get a phone call one day that's like, God damn, I'm at rock bottom. Like now I gotta try to find my way back out. Was there ever a point where you just felt like, man, I can't do this shit no more, this is too much, or I'm depressed, or maybe I need to go pop some pills, or resort to drugs or alcohol, like you just felt like the weight of the world was on your back, you just couldn't do it no more?
Before you answer that question, Tony, if I could, that was going to be my follow-up question to my original question, and this is going to be for any of you all. When we talk about when you hit your lows, and I ask you, how do you handle it? Have any of you ever been through a state of depression? Because we don't realize it, or maybe we do realize it. Depression is very prevalent within our youth, especially our youth athletes.
100%.
There was one basketball player who was ranked top in this area, and he actually came out about a year or two ago, and he talked about it, about how he went through some serious bouts of depression, and to some extent, I'm sure a lot of you all probably have. I look back on my own son last year. Coaches, they promise you, you're gonna come in and play right away. And when he got redshirted, it was one of those things. He was like, "Damn, what the fuck?" I was told I was gonna come in and play right away. Now I'm not even suiting up. And he laid in bed. We would go up to go to the game. We couldn't even hardly get him out of bed to go to the game. So, a lot of depression is within our youth. And too many times, we don't talk about it, we don't deal with it, we don't get help for it. So, I want that question to kind of go out to all of you all. And if you've been through it, kind of talk about it, talk about how you got through it.
Me personally, I never hit like a stage of depression, being young now or any of that. Probably until I felt bad after I got that draw. I ain't gonna lie. Like I said, there's a picture like I posted like on Mother's Day. My mother was the only one. I mean, my dad was like that too. People from our team. My mother bottled her. She wiggled her ass back in that back room and was holding me while I was crying.
Yes, sir.
So like, what I'm saying, I'm an undefeated, on the rise prospect. Man, and then to suffer a draw that I'm really not supposed to get, and I know I could have did better, but that was like as low as for me. I got over it, but I didn't feel too good. But as far as depression, I never slipped low to depression or anything like that. But I've seen it before.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I've seen it before in like friends or people that I didn't really know, but I seen them before just because we was tired, just through people that I know.
Hey, Rod.
Hey, let me ask the group of the athletes, all the athletes, pros, and all that stuff. The question, Roy, you shared your story, Roach, on a professional level. The up and coming athlete now, the young guys, because you guys are now, mentors, you guys have been through the arena, and there's a certain responsibility, much is given, much is required. What would you share with the up and coming youth or the parent of an up and coming student athlete? What would you share with them as far as the level of responsibility that you have to handle now that they have to look forward to and the seriousness of it?
Alright, so I'll go ahead and chime in on that one, cause like, for me now, like I be helping coach now, so I'm kind of seeing it. I'm Jamal Greenwood, I played college basketball, whatever. To kind of speak on the depression thing, it kind of all ties together, I guess you could say. So for me, the biggest thing I would tell a youngin now, and what I tell youngins now is like, when you get to a certain level, it's not fun no more. Like, it's not like, it's not as much joy as it, I guess you could say. Like, once you get to like a college level, even like a high school level, like, bro, like, it become a real business, bro. So for me, in high school, the accolades was whatever, like, it was all cool. Then once I got to college, like my freshman year, I came in on my shit, like ready to go, like played a lot, like newcomer of the year, bang, everything cool. So sophomore year, like I'm thinking like, shit, I'm low key the man now. Like I was the starter, all that freshman year. So like freshman year, summer, I came out, I was chilling for real, like hanging out. I was working out, but not like the year before. So sophomore year came, like it wasn't the same. Like my spot wasn't, it was there, but it was mine to lose. I barely played my sophomore year. Like after coming off 16-6 as a freshman, like sophomore year barely played. So for me, I would tell a youngin' like rent is really due every day. Like it don't really matter. Like it don't matter what you did before. So it's like all that shit in the past. Like when you get to college to a certain level, everybody was all pro, all state, all county, whatever it was. So like leave that where it's at. Like don't bring your accolades with you because it don't really matter. Like so that's what I tell youngins now. For the parents, I'm not a parent. A lot of my friends are. I'm probably gonna be sometime in the next years, whatever. Like I'm gonna just say, like, bro, like I'm gonna just say, like, bro, like if I was a parent, I really tell you.
Not pulling out, huh? That young man.
Hey man, I'm 26.
All right, my bad.
I'm 26, man. It's time to you hear me.
I was spit. You the granddaddy?
He already a grandfather.
So how about the Hey, hold on, y'all. Finish up the book.
If I was to tell the parents anything, bro, I'd say like, cause I'm seeing it now on the grassroots level now and I'm back coaching, it's just like, bro, like, parents put so much pressure on their kids so young. And it's just like, bro, like, I didn't go through this, but I done seen kids who was like highly touted or whatever as youngins. And then if they don't reach it to a certain level, they feel like they failed, I guess you could say. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't real seen like number one. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't real seen like.
You see that?
So like I didn't real seen like number one 8-year-old, number one 9-year-old, and then they end up going and playing at Bowie State. Nothing wrong with Bowie State, but it's like that wasn't your trajectory as a youngin'. So much pressure being put on as a youngin'. It's like you
parents look at their kids sometimes as that paycheck.
Yeah.
They go to 27, 25.
But I mean,
I don't even know if it's a paycheck. It's about status. I don't know if it's a paycheck. You know, I think parents just want to be able to have that status that my son is there.
But on the other side, I'm gonna play devil's advocate. On the other side of it, bro, I see now that I'm older, you a lot into your kid to get to a certain point. You see what I'm saying? Like between the travel, the money you spend, the trainers.
As a parent, as a coach, and a parent, there was I have a son that's a student athlete that's fortunate enough he's getting ready to go to Canada to play football. But it's just more, to me, it's more like parents are looking for a return on their investment. It's nothing that any person here, if you invest in something, no matter what it is, if you take your money and invest into a stock, you want a return on your investment. Yes, we're not saying look at your kid as some money tree, but at the end of the day, it's an investment. I don't need anything back from you, but I invest in you so that you can possibly be successful and do things that I wouldn't do, or I haven't done, or wouldn't do.
Stay right there.
Because some parents out here making bad investments.
Exactly.
They know that their kid, and they know that their kid ain't it.
Well, they can't say that though. Can't say they know.
You can know.
They know.
Listen, no, because I beg to differ. Because there are people who come on later. Because growing up.
So as a coach, you gonna tell me you ain't never seen a kid and be like, you know what? You may another sport may be for you, but this sport.
I got one for you. The kid sitting right next to you. In the beginning, nobody, and I'm saying this, I don't give a fuck who watching. Nobody wanted them.
Hey, Juice, if I can.
Nobody wanted them. So don't tell me that the you can't grow into something. It's all about the work that you put in, and like you said, the investment. So like he was willing to sit in the gym.
The difference is he was willing to put in the work.
That's the difference.
He was willing to put in the work, so it was there.
I get it. You're right, but at the end of the day, when we talking about parents, they don't know what they don't know. They don't know what they don't know. Like, you're not gonna. There are parents who may feel like their kid might be ugly, but they ain't gonna call them. They gonna call their kid.
You know damn well, Juice. But you know damn well. Hypothetically, let me put it in perspective for you.
I know what you about to say, but you only know based on who they play with.
No, you don't, Juice.
Hey, tell him I got one for him, so I'm about to get him.
Here's my thing right here. If I got a kid, he tell me he want a box. I put him in the ring with Roach. Roach bashed his damn head in. I know he ain't a boxer.
That doesn't mean he's not a boxer.
But Juice,
that may
mean I agree with Juice on that.
He's a lot further off. Right. I'm just saying because I
I'm
watched
saying
it.
All things are equal, Juice. All things are equal.
It's all things are never equal.
They started in the gym at the same time.
Hold on, let me give a real life experience without using names. I remember when me and Juice was coming up, and we started at 8, 9, and we had different kids. Roy came with 10, right?
8, 9.
He didn't get to play.
He only got to play in the.
I remember there was a parent that we had on that team. Her son played with us. I remember her coming to us and saying, because another program, AAU program, was trying to get her son to leave our team. She one of the very few we lost early. Even though you know the story.
I understand.
But she came to us. This was her words. We had Roy, Keys, all of them said, "No, y'all not really. They not really AAU players." I can look at the day. He probably watching the show. Don't matter. He my man. He know. He working. They all excel in that sport. I ain't saying it's a failure not to excel in sport. Right. We just talking about as coaches. She came to us, took her son off our team because she said they weren't AAU players. And then you look at the picture today. He went to the map. He went to the map, and you know he.
I'm waiting my turn.
But she thought that he was better than he was. She thought that she didn't really know, but in her psyche, that's why I say they don't know that they're not. There's been many kids that even in football. I remember in football we had a kid,
not all the time.
We had a kid come from Glen Arden, and the mother said, "Oh, he was MVP over there. He played running back." And he came to play with us. And he stayed cracking
rude away there. They was goons over here.
But on that saying though, I'm okay with all that knock. I'm okay if the kid ain't where somebody thinks he should be. My problem is my problem is when parents don't see that kid is really not interested in doing that. So you're forcing him to do these trainings, you're forcing him to do these workouts, you're forcing him to do this team, and that kid is really not in it. I had a kid that was about to go to fucking college on a football scholarship, sit down in front of me and say, "Coach, I really don't want to play. I haven't wanted to play football in the last 3 years."
So hold on.
It's my father.
So let me ask you this question. But in our culture, we always tell us to pay it forward. Invest in your child. Pay it forward. When do we realize paying it forward ain't always in the best interest of the child?
Absolutely.
That's the problem that we have in our community.
So if I can jump in, that's a conversation for another day. So I'm gonna flip it back.
Tough, real quick.
Go ahead, Dad.
Real quick for all of the coaches in here, and for all of the athletes in here and everything. Do any of you coaches or any of you athletes feel that your childhood, that you missed out on your childhood because maybe your parent wanted you to play, 100%. Might be a single parent home, your mother don't want you to be
just enjoying life.
Because it's him.
No, that's the perfect. No, don't be crazy. That's
I can't hear the question.
I was gonna say that's the perfect.
I want everybody, the student athletes as well as the coaches, because y'all saw the kids personally.
I was
and the kids played, do you feel that you missed out on your childhood because your parent wanted you to play, forced you to play, pressed to the point you play? If anybody came where your mom raised you, I don't want you to be no sucker, so you want to play football.
We
You
gotta
feel
put
you
time
missed out on your childhood.
Bro, you gotta go around the world.
Some new people. Let's get some new people.
You gotta go around the world.
We gonna get to hold on.
I ain't gonna say my father forced me, but it was times where I'm like, man, what the fuck is this? Like, come on now. Like, I want to play, but at the same time, because I ain't know nobody.
Right.
You know, future players was already established. I was a newcomer, so it was just like more so like, I don't even want to do this. My first day of practice, man, I was in a white tee, jean shorts, and forces. That's what it got. Like, they'll tell you, please.
My first practice was a game with them.
I was like, I don't know where we put it at the point I know you can
Go ahead, Greg.
I wasn't necessarily say I was forced. He gave me the option. But at the same time, as I got older, it was more of a choice by me. He looked at me, he was like, you ready? You want to play what you want to do? When I got to high school, he was like, you want to play what you want to do?
You feel you missed out on your childhood?
Nah, not at all.
Gotcha. Right.
I would say in certain situations, I would say it's more situational. Like my eyes, I knew what I wanted to do. I knew I had a goal. I would think my parents, 9 times out of 10, they know what my goal is. They know how to get to my goal more than I did. But in certain situations, just me being a kid, there are things that I missed in my childhood that I wish I could have did. Especially as far as like going on trips or certain events that you know you do at a certain age that all your other friends get the experience, but you don't get the experience because at the end of the day you're an investment. You're working towards that investment. So I would say in certain situations, yes.
I agree with that too.
I mean, I would say for me, yes and no. Like I feel like, yeah, I did. Like he said, like you miss out on a lot of stuff. Like bro, I remember like the day of my prom, like I was in Philly. The day of my prom, like I had to come back that same day. Like I had a tournament, had to come back that day. Like barely even made it. Like bro, like the day of my prom, like bro, like prom night on a Thursday, and I went to prom. The next morning, I had to go to like New York for a tournament. Like so, it's just like it's just like give and take. But it's just like bro, at the end of the day, bro, I gained so much through sports. I can't even like bro, like sports saved my life. And not even say I grew up fucked up, but it's just like bro, like I don't know what I would have done without sports. Like bro, like sports afforded me to get a free education, no student loans. Like bro, like you see what I'm saying? Like so everything I really got came through sports. But did I miss out on a lot of stuff? Yeah, but I'm enjoying it now and I'm older.
Let me highlight this Jamal Greenwood for people who don't know, and he actually got to experience the high level of both sports. High level AAU, high level football. So he got the experience. So that is missing a lot because they're back to back. AAU goes right into football, football goes right into AAU. He played with great players like Melo and what's my man named Juice that gave us 30. We still whooped them by 20. Baby godson.
Oh, Robbie.
You know, he had some mean teammates.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, like
hey, Jamal, Drake said something to rap. He said, while I'm in the studio making all the music that, he said, while my friends are out partying, I'm in the studio making the music that they party to.
That's a fact.
That's a fact. I mean, you can't have it both ways sometimes.
It's a sacrifice.
I'm gonna take my coach's hat on, put my parents' hat on. So from a parent perspective, we talk about this quite often. It was probably Smurf's 10th grade, 11th grade year. We were down at a beach house with a bunch of family, and we really did a lot of reflection because everybody knows Smurf played a lot of AAU basketball and he played football. And everybody was going bike riding. That kid never had a chance to learn how to ride a bike. He didn't know how to ride a bike. My buddy had to say, you know what, we're going to take time out. I'm going to teach you how to ride a bike. It was 10th, 11th grade year before he learned how to ride a bike. Because every weekend, we was gone on an AAU tournament. He was playing football. He was doing something. He knew no kids in the neighborhood. Because we didn't spend no time in the neighborhood.
So can I pause right there and ask all four of y'all questions?
Don't ask my question. Let me ask
So
you.
you told him how to ride a bull before he rides a bike?
Hey, my question to the parents. Parents, what do y'all regret?
Oh, that was
Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Let me answer the question that came
Yeah.
from where did it come from the
Yeah.
web?
Yeah.
Came from that.
Oh, it came from that. All right. Hell yeah, I missed out on my childhood. I boxed. I played football and basketball.
Nah,
same time.
Yeah, I ain't gonna hold you. That's the only kid I know. He got hurt in the football game. Nigga cried because he couldn't. He said, "I'm not gonna go to my fight." The nigga cried real tears.
I did. I played through all three at the same time at one point. Like, so like, yeah, I was outside because like when I was little, I was good at school. And I get my homework done on the bus so I can go outside. So I'm trying to get as much in because I know as soon as my father get home, I gotta go to the gym. Like, and then I gotta go to the gym. I gotta go to the football field with them. Right. Then I gotta go home and make sure, like, by the time I get home, it's 9 o'clock. I can't go outside at 9 o'clock for real. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I missed it. Do I regret it? Nah, but I missed it. I missed out on a whole lot. Just for the simple fact that, all right, I can be somewhere with kids my age and that, but I gotta watch my weight. You know what I'm saying? My boxing schedule was football and basketball different. They ain't practicing every day. I practice every day boxing. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday sometimes. I had to play games. I had to come to the field after my practices. All that.
That shit so crazy.
I missed the whole rap, but like, I had a lot of fun as a kid, and I liked what I did because, from the coaching staff on down, I'm talking about football and basketball, I had the same coaches. So, we was a family. I could attest to that. Like, I knew Jamal since I was 5 years old. And my dogs since I was 5 years old.
Since flag.
Like, I got lifelong friends, and I know I got lifelong mentors.
Absolutely.
From the sports that I did.
So, let me ask you this question. I promise, last one.
Why the fuck you always get your question on? You know, nobody cuts your big beard here. Anyway, I got a question, right? I got a motherfucker. Wait. I think we cut niggas off like this. Hold on, stop. Real quick.
Do any of y'all feel that your parents was trying to live their unsuccessful sports career through the youth?
My father did all this sports in the streets. Like, he played street basketball. They play basketball for money. My father played football around the neighborhood for money and stuff like that when he was young and all that. So he ain't really had no aspirations to be, and he had me when he was young. So he ain't had no aspirations to be no sports dude.
I'm gonna say my father was just my father for real. Like, anybody know my father was a street nigga. So,
absolutely.
My father wasn't really like. No, my father, was just like his, played basketball in the streets and shit like that. So it wasn't really more so him trying to be there just like me. None of that.
So my question is, getting way back, going way back, where Roy had said back when we first started, that you kind of got it through the mud.
Yeah.
Right? Same with you, Roach. You think about all of y'all think about y'all's story. You coming up through Future Players. Future Players was a born from the ground up organization where nobody knew about Future Players, and Knox and Juice decided they're going to take a team and see what happened, right? Yeah. So you got it from the mud. Yeah. You think about Forestville, bro. Jamal, Greg, all y'all, you think about it. We were a team that Forestville was unheard of back then. And then, we took it from the mud and made it what it was. I'm listening to my man's story. You said that, the Boys Club U was where y'all struggled a little bit, and, you had to kind of get it from the mud, per se, right? So my question to y'all is, by you having to get it from the mud and you stuck with it, you stuck with Future Players, you stuck with Forestville, you stuck with No Excuses, whatever the club was. But by y'all having to get it from the mud, how does that help you right now, today? And what would you say to those kids now that are just jumping from club to club, trying to
chasing the name?
Chasing the name.
That's what I'm saying. I see it a lot. I'm a coach now. I've been coaching since I was 17. I'm 27. 10 years in the game. Thanks to Penny and Till started me out at 17 in college. You know what I'm saying? I see kids. I see it all along. The coaches trying to steal kids and everything else. My team has been my team since they were 5. You know what I'm saying? I got the Juice and Knox team for real. So it's hard trying to keep them kids together. 'Cause
My
you got-
kids was better than Juice and Knox, by the way.
Mine too. But you know, Greg was there. So
Hey,
finish your story, Greg. Because you did not say that.
So I see it, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, I'm telling them, just stay persistent. Telling the parents, don't change your kid because the team not doing too well. You know what I'm saying? Stay there, let them build that organization, that coach, they're going to get better over time. But sometimes the coaches is just getting out coached. There ain't nothing against the kids, ain't nothing they can do.
I'd say for me, like, there's been times as I got older, everybody knew, you know what I'm saying, I wasn't the best player, it was Keith. And, you know, as time went on, you know, we had Gerard, you know, we had all these good players, you know what I'm saying? So then it's like, all right, well, I'm gonna have to keep working, and honestly, I stuck in there every day after practice with Juice, and you know, so we was working on my game and stuff like that. As I got older, you know, these other teams started, you know, coming out of the woodworks trying to get me to play with them, and you know, it came a point in time where I was just like, nah, I ain't gonna do it, you know. And I talked to them, and you know, once our team had like officially, you know, broke apart, you know, that's when, you know, I talked to Juice and I talked to Knox about everything, and I went on about playing with different
So
teams.
how did that experience though help you through the trials and tribulations you had in college, and you know how you navigating through things right now? How does that coming through the mud help you?
And on that same note, before you answer, for any parent who is listening, how important do you think it is to have a kid play with a coach who really, really cares about the kid and their development through the sport, through life, through their character and everything, opposed to going to Florida to play these national championships, those type of things.
Raider, listen. We got Raider and we got Nita listening. They both comment.
I'm gonna say this. So this man right here, I'm talking. I was going to Hyde Public Charter School off Prairie Street. Off South Dakota Avenue, whatever. He's outside after, you know, his job or whatever, waiting on me to get out of school, taking me to and from practice. You know what I'm saying? Stuff my parents could have did, but he decided to do that. He allowed me into his house, you know what I'm saying, summer after summer. I used to live with Juice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So for that right there, I mean, honestly, it hurt me that our team had broke up. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to play until I couldn't play no more with those guys. But you got dudes, they had to play football. You know what I'm saying? They had to focus on this, they had to focus on that. So, I mean, honestly, to answer your question though, like, it's very important because once you go to the other team or you go to that coach who really don't care about you, about your talent, you gonna feel that. You gonna feel it.
So to kind of piggyback off of Roy, I'm gonna play a little bit of devil's advocate, bro. To what, like sticking with the out the mud team, like bro, like at a certain point, bro, in your career, you gotta be loyal to yourself as well, bro. So it's like you see what I'm saying, bro? Cause like at least for me, I come from a basketball point of view, so it's like in basketball, bro, if you try and get to a certain level, when you talk about college recruiting, bro, unless you a certain type of caliber player, dudes want to see like coaches want winners. So if your team isn't winning, then like you come from a losing culture. You see what I'm saying? So it's like if you ain't playing on Sunday, if you ain't playing in championship games, it's like, bro, like what are you doing? You see what I'm saying? So it's like, bro, to a certain extent, bro, you gotta step back from the situation and look at it and really do what's best for you. Like, there might be your boys that they really are, they still won't be there, bro. But like, if it's a coach that's willing to, and so to piggyback off what Roy said about the whole loyalty thing with the coaches or whatever. So I seen in 2020, like 8th grade, just taking it. 8th grade, dudes had me as whatever, like about to be I had major back surgery. I played with assault as an 8th grader. Like
yeah, I remember that.
I played with assault 8th grade. Like I was the man on my assault team. Like took a year off, bro. Everything changed. Like I tried to go back to the team. Like it was like you could come back, but like I don't know how it's gonna go. So it's like shit. I'm gonna go do my own thing now. Did my own thing, got back. Now they want me to come back to the team. So now it's just like nah. Like at this point y'all done showed me your hand.
You believe it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like this one y'all done showed me your hand. So I stuck with it, but it's just like, do I have a regret? Like the team that I would have potentially been on, was #1 team in the nation that year. Like Melo, B-Hawk, like you something. They was undefeated the whole year. So, bro, at the end of the day, being on a team like that pays dividends sometimes because you're gonna be in front of every coach.
That's the business side.
That's the business side of it.
Yo,
You know what I'm saying?
I want to find out who my brother is here. I mean, goddamn.
Rodney was really, you know, Rodney, that nice skill
He
set.
pretty much said the same. He
Rodney,
transferred
this is Q right here. He got actually an intriguing story. I'm gonna just lead it off a little bit. He can pick it up. I asked him what boys club he played. He said I ain't played boys. He went straight high school to college. So
God damn.
I played middle school at
Your name Q?
Quentin. Yeah, Q.
Alright.
I played middle school football at school named Kramer in DC.
Yeah.
From there, I played a little bit at Anacostia. Then I had to transfer football. I transferred from Anacostia to Thomas Stone, Waldorf, because my mom didn't like the area we was in. From Thomas Stone, my freshman year, I went to St. Charles, the remainder of high school. I didn't really get a lot of recruitment because coaching. My coach didn't really take notice of the talent I had, so from high school I went to Bluefield in West Virginia, got hurt up there, transferred to Bowie, and I haven't really been able to get on track. But if I'll say anything to any kids, anybody that's still trying to ball, don't give up. 22, I haven't played a game since 2016, and I still ain't give up. So I tell Rodney all the time, I'm happy things played out the way it has, because through life I've met Rod, met some great mentors that's helped me get to where I am today. So I tell people don't give up.
Let me ask you this question, real quick. I got y'all. And I heard a few of y'all talk about, I either took a year off or I had a setback and I came back and things wasn't sweet because I was the man. What's the sacrifice and what do it really take to stay at that level that these young kids, these young kids might see it, they talented at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years old, whatever age, and they the man on that team. But what do it really take that young as you growing up to really stay at that top spot?
What do every day, Chad?
It take passion in the kid. They take passion in the kid. They gotta want to be the best, not just their father or their mother or their coach.
For sure.
They gotta want to do it.
I say passion and balance. And the reason why I say balance is you gotta balance life and everything that comes outside of it. But also you gotta balance your goal. If your goal is, hey, I'm trying to make it as far as I possibly did and ride this ship to as far as I possibly go. So that balance of, I got school, I got family, and all this other stuff. But then I got to dedicate myself to this. So it's that certain balance. Being able to be passionate about it, but also balancing all the outside noise.
So since you're talking about balance, I want to ask y'all for my question. Having coached it, having had children who played it at high levels, being a parent, if you can go back and do it again or give advice to a parent going through it now, such as myself, how do you afford your child that balance of getting it out the mud, grinding, sacrificing for what you really want, but also having that balance of actually being a kid? If I want to come home and just play PlayStation today for an hour.
You don't. To Jamal's point, you don't. So I'm gonna speak for me and Penny. What we do with our kids every year.
Ball is life.
What we do with our kids every year, right? So growing up as athletes and stuff like that, my mom was big. We didn't have PlayStation and shit like that. And so, you played the boys club football. We had some guys that was our best friends with Jamaicans, and they were big into baseball. So because you didn't have this, they played baseball. You had to play baseball. Moral of the story is, my mother said, once you start, you don't quit. Right? So after every season, what we do with our kids, what we did all the way through, after every season,
Even after the day.
Yeah, even after the day. Once the season over, we sit down and talk to them. Is this what you want to do before the next season starts? This is what you want to do. You tell me this is what you want to do, this is what it's going to take.
That's balance, right?
You know what I'm saying? If you just want to play, even when they got high school and stuff like that, if you just want to play for fun, that's cool. Just say you played in high school, that's cool. Just let us know what it is. If you want to play to get to the next level, then this is what it's going to take.
How you prevent burnout?
But that's just it.
It's gotta be on them.
It's gotta be on them. Once they say this is what they want to do,
Got a full steam ahead.
then that's when, okay, this is what it's gonna take. It's gonna take
How
us-
does an 8, 9-year-old kid make that determination?
I wouldn't do it to an 8, 9-year-old kid.
I wouldn't do it to an 8, 9-year-old kid.
And that's where,
That
hold on,
ain't-
let me finish. That's what the beauty to me.
Little bro.
That's the beauty. Honestly, and I'm not even speaking in terms of just Forestville, but to me, that was the beauty of a Forestville. Because you went straight from football, straight to basketball. Back then, baseball was pretty solid. And then once baseball stopped fading out, is when Knoxville came up with future players. So you was always moving, so it was hard for you to get that burnout in one sport. Like, I'm a big proponent that a student athlete should focus on one sport.
Absolutely.
They should play as many sports as they want until they have to finally decide.
Yeah.
That's my take.
Yeah, so on that same note, you know, even as of today, I still ask my son after every season, yo dude, what you want to do? You want to keep doing this? You know, what's the case? Because if you don't, you're going to go to college regardless. It may not be the college that you're at, because I can't afford that shit. But you're going to go to college regardless. If you say right now, I want to stop playing football, you're still going to go to college. You know, so I try not to put that much pressure on him there. But in terms of going back to 7th, 8th grade, when he was right over at Holy Family, you know, I would have those conversations with him. What do you want to do with this football? Do you want to play? If you don't want to play, that's fine. You don't have to play. And everybody knows coming up, Smurf didn't want to play a whole lot of football. He would play a year, sit out a year, play a year, sit out a year. And I would give him that option. You know, you don't have to play. But when you say you want to play, so now you can either not play, you can play and just have fun, or you can play and see how far you can go with it. It's your choice. And I never let them answer the question right away. I make them 2 days or so. Come back to me in 2 days, let me know what your answer is. So now when you come back 2 days later and you say, I want to do this to see how far I can go with it. Okay, if that's the case, then this is what we're doing. You're going to lift these days, you're going to work out these days, boom, boom. So now when I go pick him up from school and he's dog ass tired for whatever reason, like, I don't feel like going to work out today. No, motherfucker, this is what you said you wanted to do. This ain't what I said I wanted to do. So after the year is over, if you say it's not what you want to do, then cool, we'll move to another plan. But for this year,
That's what we doing.
this is what we doing. So sit your ass back there, take a little nap.
Yeah. I'll wake you up when we pull up.
Yeah, and that's real talk. But it's got to be a kid decision. Because like I said, I had a kid go to college, sat down in front of me and he said, how do I tell my father I don't want to play college? Damn. He didn't really have a full scholarship.
You about to chime in.
Go ahead, Jim.
But you get this thought together real quick.
Go ahead.
Just real quick. I'm just going to reflect back to why I say all kids should play as many sports as they can, right? If they want to play when they got the chance. As when Jamal and Jabari was younger. Jamal loved football more than he loved basketball. Jabari loved basketball more than he loved football. So when you play with John now, think about it, it was days when Jabari would come to the field and would be hiding in the back seat of the car. Y'all to come get him out the car. Right? You know what I'm saying? But he was the one that migrated towards football. On the flip side, Jabari was a football guy, and because of the back surgery he talked about, he couldn't play football no more, he migrated to basketball. That's why I say it's important that kids play all the sports.
I wish I played football.
You should have played money.
One being the father and being the coach. You know, and as I started I think, I always say I thank Coach Knox and I thank Tubbs and Penny for getting me into coaching because I didn't see it, but I guess they saw something in me and it just excelled. But being a parent, like I had a son on days that he wanted to quit because I knew, I felt like I was hard. I know I was hard on my son. Shit, I was hard on the kids I coached because I came from a background where when the coaches cared about you, they bust your ass.
Yeah.
And I can look back and think, God bless Coach LeBarry, Coach Huck and all the guys that did coach me when I was younger, that are, you know, ones that passed and ones that still going on, the passion that they put in me. So when I felt that I was being super hard on my son, here, you can have him. And he belonged to.
That was my next question to you.
Hold on. So, yeah, go ahead, finish.
I mean, he belonged to Tubbs. I didn't really, for those who know, I didn't coach my son until he was getting ready to go to high school, his last year.
Yeah.
But at that time, I made the decision, like, is this what you want to do? Like, if this is what you want to do, I'm gonna push you, and I'm telling you, it's gonna be some days that I know some days that he might have hated my guts, and then I got to a point where they will always be at the house together. I'm not waking neither one of y'all up no more to go work out. I'm not, and that was my thing. My son will tell you, there was no lie. I'm not waking you up at 5. I'm not coming to wake Roy up. I don't get y'all can sleep. You stay up all night till 3. I'm asleep. I'm not turning no alarm clock on. You all need to be my alarm clock. And when I just think when it turned for him was when they would come and wake me up.
Yes, sir.
Are we going to work out? My son couldn't really play basketball for real. But guess what? To help his man, he would go and check him on the post, file him, bust his lips, and everybody knows. And to this day, they're best friends. Like,
he was a 6'5".
He gonna go. He gonna be a 6'5".
And Juice, but they used to say, but take coming here with
all boys. They used to look at me and be like, "You sending your goon in?"
Because he was it's to that point now.
Right. They literally used to look at me and be like, "Yo, you sending your goon in? Listen, if you ain't gonna be as good as them, you gonna make layups. But listen to me, you gonna go out there, you gonna foul as hard as you can, do what it is you need to do." But I mean, for me, like I said, I felt like it turned when they started to wake me up to come work out. For any parent, you can't want it more than your child.
I have a 2-part question.
You can't want it more than your child.
So say 4 or 5 questions.
Oh, let me ask Peeny. I want to ask Peeny.
I'm chiming on Juice. It's 2 things that I had to learn to do as a parent, as a coach. One thing I had to do is trust my village. Every man in this room is a part of my village. I felt like if I dropped him off with any dude in this room, it wasn't no question. Hey, they knew my standard, and if not their standard was higher than mine, then my son was always in good hands.
I was gonna bust his ass.
Number 2 was Number 2 is I had to learn when to let go, and that was the hardest part for me. Is to let go.
You still holding on?
When
it's too early to let go.
When it's too early to let go, hold on, you'll know when to let go when he start, just like Juice said and Peanut said, when they start to want it and it becomes their passion. What you do is step back and you support them.
To your point, Tony, I think that's a tough question.
Yeah.
Because for me, it was easy to let go. Because again, I'm not getting on the whole Forestville thing. Of course, I love Forestville. But back in the day when Forestville was strong, the foundation was set up so strong.
Yes.
That you went from Barron there for the little kids. You moved up to Knox and them. You came through me and Peeny. You went through Willis first. Then you came through me and Peeny. And then I forgot who coached the bigger boys. But nonetheless, I felt comfortable. Like I knew in my heart that when I dropped him off at the field, they were in good hands. But then on the flip side, some of the coaching that I'm seeing now, I almost feel like.
So that's my struggle, right?
Yeah.
I don't want Tony to play the game because I'm Coach Tony.
Right.
But I also, if I'm keeping 100% frank, I don't trust what these coaches are doing.
That's my point. Like right now, I don't.
Stay right there, Tony. Okay, so I'm gonna add Knox this, Juice this, Rodney this, all of us who have kids. Do you feel there's more pressure
placed on your
Woo.
kid
Because
because of who you are.
Yes.
Woo, y'all go
Yes.
Yes.
I'm gonna personally say yes because I hear the coaches whisper. I see their body language change when I walk up to practice.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's real.
It's like
Just like
true
they try to
story.
coach
I'm
hard.
not true story. I'm not gonna say a coach name. I showed up to the field
Jamal, they gonna hang it.
to one of my I showed up to the field to one of my son's games. And Tony, right now, when it comes to baseball, he's probably the upper echelon of the game. But football, he hasn't peaked yet in football.
How
And
old is your son?
He's 11, and I understand that, right? So I showed up to the field, and I'm not expecting him to get. I just want him to be developed. I don't really care about playing time. Literally, the coach looked back, looked me in my face, turned around, go get in the game.
Right.
Don't play him because I showed up to the game. If he ain't earned it, don't play him.
Don't play him.
Don't give it to him if he ain't earned it. And I literally had to call the coach after the game and say, bro, don't ever put him in the game again because you saw me.
Right.
If he ain't earning it, don't give it to him.
So I asked that question, Tony, because when I coached Knox son, when I coached Bam's son, when I coached Juice son, Ronnie never let me coach his son, which I'm totally credited today. Because that was one of my favorite players of all time, and he still is. And he still is. I love that little motherfucker right there. But when I coached all their kids, you don't know how many talk about. When I coached all their kids, if I tried to go to Knox and tell them something about Javon, they're like, I want to hear it. That's when you and him. Yeah. Juice the same way. Who the fuck come over here talking to me for? Hey, the same way.
My man will tell you. We actually after the 1 year that I said, hold on. The 1 year I actually got to coach my son before, and like Tony said, true story. What developed our relationship, and he started to respect me as a coach over being a dad. Is I actually had to let go. No. I actually had to let him go live with his mother in North Carolina. He used to call me at practice, after every practice, Dad, we doing this and this and this, and I don't feel this and this and this. And we used to have conversation, and we built that level of respect, but I had to let him go and experience it. But when we were together, he would tell you, I would not say nothing to him, because if I said something to him, just like if Knox said something to J. Ron, I would shut him down. It'd be like a power switch.
Rodney, for me, it's the opposite though. Like, I don't speak because Tony takes my word for gold. So literally, if I be like, bro, that shit ain't right. That's how you do it. This how you do it. He would literally, he has done it. Go on the field, but like, nah, that ain't right.
But
I got
wait a minute. Hold on.
Go ahead.
And I say this.
All you supposed to be doing is playing music.
But anyway, but there was times when I would tell Greg stuff, and he'd sit there and listen to me like, yeah, all right, nigga, whatever. All right. And I'll be damn if Penny or Thomas ain't come back and say the exact same thing that I said. And he's like, Coach Beanie, Coach Tom, nigga, I just told you that. But with all that being said, I mean, sometimes kids get it different when they hear it from a, you know.
But I want to bring it full.
But now, on another note, I'm still Jamal Greenwood's favorite coach.
Yeah, you are.
Hey, let me go, Tuss, before you go.
All right, good.
You're right. I remember when you came to me.
I did.
We was practicing.
Yeah, we was practicing.
And when Juice and them doing things, Juice and Malcolm and Ronnie, I stepped back and y'all came over, and all I heard was J. Ron. I was like, no, whatever y'all do, y'all kids do to him. I don't care. But as people in this room know, including Boom, especially Boom, because he's an observer, me and Trust we ain't good friends.
Right.
But like Rodney said, to piggyback when he said, I knew y'all was good.
Right.
And I saw him with Willis, and I saw him with Joe, and I watched this boy. Just like you said, I went out there, I taught him how to play quarterback in the driveway one day, him and his brother, and I threw him out there, go ahead. Right. And y'all had him at corner, and he was at corner, and I remember he used to throw the Montez son, and it was like that little simple little play right there. But on the Jamel part, same thing. That's where Rodney and them came in, like, Tubbs got all these scouts here. He got dude from Silver Hill that's at Potomac. Yeah. And everybody talking about how good Jamel can throw. And I'm like, damn, when I'm there, this nigga throwing punts. And I remember, I'm walking on the field. And everybody, all the people like, man, the coach out there, Jamel out there throwing my shit. I ain't even in the grass yet. As I get closer and closer.
Right. I remember that day.
D-Knight run over there, don't even go over there. Yeah. Fuck with him, because every time you come around, and the ball, I've seen the ball, woo, I'm like, damn, in the game, this nigga throwing the wrong way, all types of shit.
I literally one day told Knox, I will punch you in the face if you say something to Jamaica.
Here I am, the head coach, offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
I can't even talk to the
You
quarterback.
can't even talk to the quarterback. Because if he said something to Jamel, it literally was like a power switch. He turned completely off. So I'd be like, Young, I'm gonna punch you in your face if you say anything. Say it to me, and I go tell him.
Yeah.
So what's that? So what name? Because
For an hour, I've been trying to ask Rodney a question.
But hold on, Penny, real quick. When did, in case people don't know, Ahmad was also an excellent AAU player. And I forgot that kid, he's fighting. Them two dudes they used to go against. But when did he decide that I'm gonna play football instead of basketball?
That's interesting. That's an interesting question.
As a kid, you know.
So around 8th grade year, I started seeing the interest. So Smurf's first love was basketball. Love basketball. Around 8th grade year, I started seeing the interest fall off a little bit. And it went back to kind of what Tony was talking about. I think burnout hit. He was just like, you know what, I'm kind of old basketball a little bit. But he was still playing. Got to high school. He played freshman football because football came before basketball. He had a pretty good, solid freshman year. And it was interesting because I remember the day vividly. I go up to the school, they're lifting weights for football, and the football coach says, anybody want to try out for the basketball team, today is the day. And he went to a couple basketball practices previously, and the coaches liked him or whatever. And he didn't come out to go to basketball practice. Some kids did. He's still in there lifting. He comes out in the hallway to get some water. I said, yo, dude, why didn't you go upstairs to basketball practice? Like, nah, I ain't fucking with that.
Just like that.
Just like that. And
boom,
go back in and start lifting.
Boom, he wasn't no average player, boom. This dude, he
Yeah.
might have been one of the top guards, all the way up from 8, all the way up.
So he goes back in and start lifting, and we get in the car.
Just gave up.
We get in the car, and I said, why you not playing basketball? He's like, I just don't fucking want to play no more.
Hey.
All right, so to piggyback, I got a question for kind of like all the athletes though, because kind of like y'all was saying, like balance, this, that, and the third. For me personally, if you're trying to get to a certain level, balance don't exist. Like, you see what I'm saying, bro? Because it's like, you could say you want to do this, that, and the third, but it's just like, bro, like, it just don't work out like that in terms of what you really trying to get to. So I feel like you got to have a real conversation with yourself. Like, for me, have a realistic conversation, be like, what am I trying to do? And at that point, you can kind of gauge your balance. But if you're trying to get to a pro level, even a high college level, there's a lot of sacrifice that come with that.
Wait, to answer your balance, what I mean by balance is knowing what you want to do without losing who you are.
Okay.
Not burying yourself in it like.
Okay, I'm thinking you talking about I'm thinking you talking about like, oh, I need to take this time off, like.
No.
You can't do that.
No. You still gotta know who you are.
Where you going, man? You gotta check it.
Without, because you know you're going. Without losing who you are.
You know, but that's a real thing though, bro. Because I know a lot of dudes like, and I even went through it at a certain point. Like a lot of dudes, like, and some of y'all still play. So like, it might hit at a certain point, but it's like once like you done, it do hit you like, damn, like it's a real identity shift to an extent. So it's like, I done seen dudes where it propelled them and where it crashed out. So it's like, you really gotta be tapped in with who you are as a person, as well as an athlete. You gotta be able to separate the two, because for so much of your life you've been known as the athlete, the whatever, the this, the that, and then in a matter of like, I remember, bro, like my last game of my college career, like it had hit me, but I hadn't really thought about it, bro. Then I get back home, like I'm working, like it's hitting me, like damn, like I've been playing, like I've been hooping for the last 25 years of my life, and like
just getting up going to work every day.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying, bro? Like, and then you be trying to tap back into it, bro. But it do hit you to a certain extent, bro. So really, like, really at a certain point, start to figure out what you like outside your sport. I guess you could say, bro. Like, do this little shit in your free time, bro. That especially when you start making some money, bro, because then you gonna want to put it into what you like to do, I guess you could say, bro. So
And
really, you
that's
really
like-
gotta know
that's
what
like
you
balance
want.
right there. Let me ask y'all this: in all the athletes that have been at your highest level, psychologically, has it ever messed with you when you got replaced? And that treatment that you got as a star player is just like, and we got all.
Hey, you on fire today, bro.
I was done with basketball early.
Right.
Like, I was done with basketball early because I was far more advanced as a football.
You heard your grandfather's feeling though.
when I stopped
wasn't that bad
playing,
at basketball.
I wasn't bad,
No,
but I wasn't
grandfather
as good as
stepped
like
in the game.
Marquise and Jamal and all that. I already knew that though. I already knew that. But when I stopped playing, that's when Sid started playing.
Right.
Soon as I stopped playing, Sid started playing. Cause like it was a dude that played basketball. What's his name? Gerd. Remember Gerd? He always he played with another team and he was the man on their team. And he came over, he couldn't start over me though. Like, so you know why? When I left, he started playing. But
You know
when
why?
Sid came.
You know why? Because you got it from the mud.
Yeah. So when Sid came, Sid started playing immediately, and he started playing football with us. So when I met Sid, I played Sid one-on-one in basketball, and we finished the game. And yes, I was winning. Sid a hooper. So like when Sid was playing, I was like, damn, I want to play basketball again. You know what I'm saying? But after that, it was like I was over it. When I finished playing football,
I see you, Drew.
it like I touched it like touched back on some other stuff like when you were saying when you was giving Smurf an option to what you want to do, what you want to do. Like
You a fake ass.
my father ain't never do that for me, but like he didn't say you have to play football. I only wanted to play football with my friends. I wanted to, so if they wanted to go to high school with me, or they wanted to go to the same high school with, like that's why I kept spinning Roger. I was like, man, I don't know, I'm gonna go talk to the coach. He was like, I'm gonna set it up. I want you to talk to the coach. I want you to talk to the coach. And I'm like, I was like, alright. I ain't see that coach now. I ain't never spoke to the football coach up there.
So, Roach, are you saying you felt some kind of way with that basketball situation?
The basketball
When I say
situation?
psychologically, meaning like, fuck, I'm not the guy no more, man. Like, I'm
A
just,
little bit. Yeah, like even though I wasn't the
ain't
best.
nobody, I ain't getting that special treatment, man. They go, the bras ain't like looking at my.
Yeah, nah, that's more like some older, like that's more like that's once you get to like college. That's when you get to like a certain level.
A real question I have that I know right now at the high school level, a lot of kids struggling with, and this goes for all you guys. Because I know we do it. How hard is it to like? Because you, at some point in time, you have to separate yourself from some people. Like,
Damn, you're on fire tonight.
Cut the fact.
like
You're on fire.
choosing friends. Like, we all know that everybody in your corner probably ain't the best person for you. So as a kid, sometimes your parents try to keep certain kids away from you. But at what point in time do you understand as an athlete, you are the company that you keep? And with you being a professional boxer, it's either people are gravitating to what you do, or are they pulling you away from your craft, going, you gotta go train again. Man, we can't go to the club. Nah, I can't go to the club. You want to come holler at me? I gotta be in the house drinking water. Like I've seen them train. Like it is a from dawn to dusk type thing, and I'm like, I get that there are friends like you're going. I want to say you're going to lose friends, because if you lose someone to leave, that's not a friend. They should be propelling you, or at least pushing you towards doing something proper. But like, how hard is it to like choose? I guess choose friends, if you want to call it.
I'd say like growing up for me, so I grew up in DC, and I lived like all over DC. So I had friends that either died or, chose the street life. And as I was growing up, it kind of branched off, because all I knew was being around Rochdale and Maul and Tay and everybody who played future players who were for the Falcons. So, it's like you. You get new friends and stuff like that, but at the same time, it's like, man, I just lost these friends, and you know what I'm saying, oh, this dude right here, he smoked, but I don't smoke. So I can't really partake, but I gotta let him know, like, bro, you know what I'm saying, some people, you know, there's some dudes that I would say, there's some dudes that I say, you know what I'm saying, like everybody, that's the new thing now, everybody smoke, whatever, that's cool. Whatever you do to your pleasure, whatever the case may be, do it. But I'm just saying, like, for me, like, I had to separate myself from people who was smoking, or, you know, people who was drinking, or, you know what I'm saying, people who was just heavy in the streets. And to answer your question, like, you gonna lose friends, regardless. Then those friends gonna come back, like, at his level. He a professional boxer. So he could lose some friends, you know what I'm saying, as the time going on. But once, you know what I'm saying, he's at his peak or whatever, as he's rising and keep improving and stuff like that, like, he gonna have those same dudes try to come back. That's not real friends.
Right.
And I mean, the same thing that happened, you know what I'm saying, for me, like, I lost a lot of friends, whatever the case may be.
Boy, I want to ask you about that. So, when you were going through your situation, and, you know.
Oh, yeah. Everybody changed, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
Coaches,
right.
You got coaches switching up on you, you know, family, friends. Just everybody like, oh, well, he just did that. He down now. Like, all right, you know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna mess with him, whatever the case may be. But I guarantee you, after this year, once everything clicked for me, it'll be the same people back in my ear, back in my corner.
Yeah.
I can piggyback off of what he's saying, and I'm just talking about from my experience and my level of going to just in college.
Right.
There's some friends that I thought had my best interests and my day ones, especially as far as being in school and middle school and stuff like that. And even in high school, I thought they were my friends, but when I have to give them an excuse, in their eyes it's an excuse.
A reason.
In my eyes it's a reason, but in their eyes it's an excuse. Even when our only friends, they come to females too at one point in time. Like, when you have to explain to them, like, yeah, I can't go to this party. I have to be up in the morning because I got training.
Right.
Or I have to be up in the morning because I know I got a tournament to go to. You lose a lot of people. You see who don't got the same vision and the same passion that you have for something. You see that in them. Right. And I think that's what helped me separate and choose what friends I keep around and what friends I don't.
That's a good point.
So I'm gonna kind of piggyback before Roach go. Like, for me personally, once I got to a certain point, bro, it's really like you have friends for certain stuff, I guess you could say, bro. Like, I feel like you got your real friends, and that's probably a tight, cool group where y'all do a lot of stuff with. You might got your friends you club with. You might got your friends you do business with. You might got your friends you do whatever with. But it's just like, you gotta know how to separate them pools, and like they gotta kind of know their place as well. You like you know what I'm saying, like, bro. And there's certain friends, bro, like I know some of my real friends, like everybody in this room, Roach, all them, bro. I know, like, if I ever got to a point where I was wild and doing something, they would hold me accountable. Like, that's when I feel like that's your real friend. You see what I'm saying, bro? There's a lot of dudes who let you trick yourself out your position, or really will let you like fuck your shit up because it don't affect them. Like, if it's something that don't affect them and they still care, then that's your real friend. So I mean, for me, bro, like, I would say, like, you know it's time to, like, bro, like, cutting people off is hard, bro. Like, not to say you're not gonna miss them or you're not gonna affect your life, but it's like at a certain point, bro, if you really want to get to a certain point, you gotta cut dead weight. And I'm gonna take it a step further because I didn't see it happen, and I didn't know how people happen too. Like, but even with family, the same type of stuff happen, bro. Like, the older you get, like, and money changed a lot of things, bro. So like, that shit started to play a factor, bro. So it's like, you really just gotta look at stuff for what it is. Like, you can't look at nobody for what they used to be. Like, people change, bro.
So I got a two-part question.
Nah, let Rose go.
Like, okay, go ahead.
So he's saying, like, choose your friends. Like, it's, you gotta be mature, like, to do that. Some people just, like, you grow with, like, you grow up with. I was fortunate enough to have a group of kids that I was placed around because I played sports that I grew up with too. But I'm, like Roy said, Roy was in the city most of his, child. I was back and forth from Maryland and DC, so I knew the difference between, like, my Maryland friends and my DC friends, and my family that was from the city. So like, I got friends, had friends, or still have friends that's in the streets. So, and then I had my friends that are athletes. Then I had my friends who just, my friends that I probably met on some other stuff like school and all that and grew up with. It's just like you gotta be mature enough to, weed out who really with you, who really got your best interest. Cause at the end of the day, you might not see it, but they can be your downfall. You might want to have as much fun as they have for one night. That one night might fuck you up.
Question for you though, right there. What are some of the signs that they show you?
Woo! That's deep, dog. Some of the signs they show you, it's just like what Maul said. Like if it don't affect them, and you can tell that they notice that. They like if you be like, alright, cause off the bat, if it's something to do, and then you be like, and nobody say, of course they're gonna be like, Broach gotta go to the gym in the morning.
Right.
We ain't gonna say, nobody not gonna say that. But if I say that and be like, I gotta go to the gym, I'll catch y'all whenever, and whoever say, well, you might as well, you know what I'm saying? But and then again, that's what I'm saying. You gotta be mature enough to notice that. You gotta be more advanced in your brain and in your mind, because obviously we're talking about being like in high school and then in college and stuff like that. And I mastered that. I ain't gonna, I'm grateful to have them type of guys that was in my life and shit, and my father, and people that stand on real principles and morals. To like, I grew up quick, like mentally, so like, I could understand that.
Cal, when you went through that, when you transferred, and you had to go to a new school.
So, like the best way I dealt with it, honestly, I got comfortable being alone. Like, separation. You know what I'm saying?
That's real.
It was just like to a point. It can't help me too, because I'm the only child, so I'm used to being by myself. But at the end of the day, it was like, regardless of who looking across from me when I'm looking in the face, regardless of what they want to do, if it's not benefiting me, I gotta be comfortable walking away.
It's okay, but when you went into Wise, you went in with that mindset, like, you know what, I'm okay being a loner. I'm going to get what I gotta get.
Yeah, when I first went to Wise, I sat in 8 months by myself. I wasn't even sitting with the football team because it's like, I don't even know. I suit up with y'all, but I don't know what y'all about. And I know I came here to get a scholarship. I'm trying, I'm trying to help better my family and everything. So I was sitting there like that, going to school, eating lunch by myself. I went through the hallways, had my headphones in. I wasn't talking to nobody, with no highs or buys, none of that. I got it.
Man, I'm sitting on 3 questions I gotta ask. You just hit one of them. So you just said, you going to Wise, you gotta figure out how you're gonna help your family. Why do you all as student athletes put so much pressure on yourselves that you gotta help your family? You know what I'm saying? Mom and dad gonna be okay. Y'all don't need to carry that weight.
It's not necessarily your immediate family.
I understand when you're talking about your kids and stuff like that. Okay, go ahead.
I even had a daughter.
Okay, go ahead. I want to hear
Before I even had a kid, I'm talking about like, you got outsiders, like, family, friends and stuff like that. It's just all, what I'm saying? When you do this at a young age, when you do X, Y, Z, don't forget about that Benz.
But why you feel like y'all gotta carry that weight?
It's one word for you, legacy. That's one thing we all value. We all want to leave before we end this earth.
Yeah, and then sometimes, not to cut you off, sometimes, like you said,
your return.
Right.
That's
good.
Like
That return. So a switch turn on sometimes in the kid is like they have realized it. Like when they get older, they have realized like, damn, you know what? These trainers are expensive. And they trips and all that. They pay for me every day. They like we grown now, so we know what shit costs. We know how it costs to get somewhere.
It makes time. It's in your head, like at a certain point in time, the moments the time that y'all are taking and giving to us, and y'all time as far as like y'all investments, it click in our head that this is serious. And it helped me see the vision of what I can possibly become. It has to show. Something has to get out. I gotta get something out of it.
Yeah, like the same way that we talk now, like about like he said, like you start to get it, like, but like I went to Buddhist, like you know what I'm saying, bro, like I'm from Fullsville. I went to Bullets. So that shit in. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm having to get a ride out there every day. Like, but like, I know how much gas is now as an adult. Like that shit's starting to add up, bro. So it's like, shit, bro. And at a certain point, it's like, bro, like, at a certain point, like, bro, all of us played at a certain level, bro. So we all talented enough to go do it. So it's like, shit, I might as well go do it. Like it's like, bro, like a scholarship is a year away. Like shit, go get it. Like, and then at that point, you can kind of let your head down a little bit. Like, bro, like I sleep well at night, knowing I don't got no student loans. My parents never had to come. You know what I'm saying, bro? You know what I'm saying, bro? So it's like, bro.
You feel me, bro? Jamal, let me ask y'all. We ready to land the plane. We'll take it around the room with all of y'all real quick, and want to ask y'all this as former players or current players who've been coached, and some of y'all are now coaches. And for some of y'all that got kids and getting ready to have kids, what would you do different with your kid? Let's start with Greg.
Don't start with me.
Hey, let me start, because I just had a kid.
Okay, good.
What
would you do different?
I just had a daughter, man.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Appreciate it. But honestly, I'm gonna let her guide me to what she wanna do. And to piggyback on the points that was made earlier, you know, I sit down and have a serious conversation with her. What's the objective of what we doing? Is it for recreational or is it for a destination?
Right.
I've been in a position in a whole different sport of something you might be wanting to do, but I've been down the same avenues and the same streets, the same connections to take you where you want to go. So if this is something that you really want to get to a destination with, now it's time for me to up the ante and help push you there, because there's going to be days where she don't want to do stuff, she feel like burning out, and you know, but she has to be pushed to that fourth quarter, to that overtime to really make it, because that's what the vets do.
Would you feel the same way if your daughter was your son?
Yeah.
What you got, Roach?
I'm about to have a baby boy on the way. So, you know, I don't. What would I do different from
the way you were brought up, the way you were coached, and all of that stuff?
The way I was. I'm gonna start off with my parents. Outside of coaching, like, cause my father was my coach. Like, he was on the coaching staff with me. So I ain't gonna lie, my father, if I wanted to, like, you know, as I'm raising my son, he laid a blueprint out. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't had no problems with him at home, or like him being too hard or nothing like that. And even to this day, cause he's still my boxing coach. He's still my boxing coach, still my manager. We don't have those problems. He know how to separate. He know how to separate being a father from from the business. And you know, I admire that about him. I don't think I can do it. So raising my son, whatever he want to do, hopefully I get somebody that I trust it, because if he don't want to box, if he want to box, I'm gonna give it to my father. There's no way I can coach him. Like, you can ask Jordan, like, I'm on his ass, like, I'm his father, you know what I'm saying? So, like, and that's my little brother. So, you know, my son, if he want to get in the ring, I'm gonna try to stay as far away as possible, get a chili. That's it, because I know what it takes to actually achieve the goals that, you know, he wants to achieve, and I've been there since kid. So it's gonna be tough. Now the coaching, my father was fortunate enough to have these guys around him and be on the coaching staff with them. So like, I was in good hands. So I would do the same thing there. I would put him in good hands, whether it be basketball, football, baseball, whatever he want to do. And if he don't want to play sports, that's fine too. That's fine too.
Yeah, Roy.
So my daughter, she on a whole different level. She into, you know, ballerina stuff, dancing and stuff like that. So I mean, when she wants to cross over like soccer and stuff like that, any type of like.
Even in ballerina.
Oh, don't get it twisted. Dance get real.
Oh no, I know.
I want him to do hands on
I can't coach that though. Wait, what you want me to? Yeah, so I mean, when you cross over with that, I find different ways to, you know, help her as far as, you know, guiding her and stuff like that. I ain't gonna be as hard on her as he was and how he was and my dad was and stuff like that on me, but, you know what I'm saying? No, I mean, got a soft spot for my daughter, man. Now, if it was my son,
Right.
oh yeah, it's on. But I got it different, you know what I'm saying, with that.
You got Q.
I don't have children. Well, I had 4 nephews, and one of them just started playing football. I went to his first practice, and I seen him, like, in the house, he like watching Sonic. He moved around the fucking house fast all the time, and he was out there running as slow as possible. And I started yelling at him, and then I had to step back a little bit. I can't do that. It's his first time out there. He could be nervous, and I don't know if I know Keon. He's not really into sports right now, so I know me when I had mine, I'm gonna learn to stay back. Cause I know how I can be. I can't be hard. I'm hard on my nephews now.
Yeah, Mo.
Bro, honestly, I feel like I'ma have to step back, bro. Just because, like, I know me for one, and for two, like, I could like see myself being in them shoes as like the parent that like didn't necessarily make it where he wanted to be. You see what I'm saying? Cause like, bro, like, I had all the tools, all the talent to really take it to a pro level, but I didn't. So it's like I don't want to be that parent to like put that weight on my child. You see what I'm saying? So I'm gonna have to step back and let the uncles, the grandfathers really like take it on the chin, bro. Like, I'm gonna be like,
I can coach somebody that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I can coach his son.
That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna fully turn it
over.
over, bro. Like, I'm gonna fully turn it over because it's like, bro, like.
You gotta teach King how to follow.
At least with me, but I'm gonna also know like the tools to get you to where you say you wanna be. Right. But I can't be the one driving the ship for you because it's just like, bro, it's gonna be way too much. Like, yeah, I can't do it.
You got right.
I would piggyback on what he said. I don't have kids, but I would piggyback on what he said. I would let my kid choose. And I would piggyback on comments. I would let my kid choose their own path or show me their own passion towards whatever they want to do. I feel like I should be there just to support and help guide in certain areas that they need help with. But I would just sit back and support. I wouldn't really pressure them into anything.
So in kind of period what I said, I'm not gonna hold you. I'm personally not gonna let my kid choose. Like, bro, like you gonna play sports. Like you gonna play sports.
Let's get that
you
out.
gonna play sports. Like it don't matter if you want to.
You better pick in that category.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Cause there's so much more that comes with.
Time out.
Let me answer. Because I said, look, because I said they don't want to play sports, that's cool. But I'm saying, like, as a kid, they're going to be active.
Yeah.
So they're going to be in anything recreational.
Yeah.
Whether it be too big. It could be tennis.
Yeah.
I don't care.
But you got to
They
do
going to do
something.
something regardless.
Cause there's so much more that comes with sports than being good at your sport. Like you not.
That's right. Nah, I'm just saying we not seeing.
No, I hear you. I'm on mall ass.
Oh no, it gotta be sports. Like, but like, what else would it be?
But what if that's not what I'm into?
I
What if
mean,
I'm into theater? What if I'm into art?
yeah, but I'm saying, like, but you gotta be at a certain point to make that decision. Like, you gotta be a teenager.
So you gonna wait?
That's what I'm saying.
So from 5 to 13,
He's an educator. So
you gonna go from 5 to 13 and you gonna make him play a sport.
I'm not saying I'm gonna make you play, like, bro, but like, I'm not gonna be the parent like put my son in the game. I'm gonna be like, bro, like, it pays dividends in real life to know how to be part of a team, to know how to collaborate with people. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you ain't gonna learn if you really want to be there though.
No, but even if you don't play, like, even if you play,
I think he's saying he gonna introduce him to him. He ain't saying.
No, he didn't say that. He said you.
No, I'll translate it for him.
No, you can't translate
Listen, let me put something out there. My father put me into football because I was fighting outside of, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I wasn't boxing yet.
Right.
Imagine if I didn't.
Right.
What would I be?
No, I'm cool. I'm cool with introducing.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm cool with just saying I'm gonna introduce you to these sports and whichever one you gravitate to, whatever. But if they don't take to no sport to say, nah, until you become a teenager, you gonna play sports, and then you can tell me that shit.
I mean, it really all depends. Like, if I'm seeing my kid, like, and it really ain't for him, I'm not gonna force on him, bro. But if you like enjoying it, but you're not that good, you still gonna keep playing. Cause it's like, bro, like you
Oh, yeah,
still
that's-
making
yeah, that's
friends.
the- yeah,
You
that's
see what I'm
the-
saying? But if you really come to me and be like, I don't want to play, I'm not gonna keep making.
Ain't nothing wrong with being special.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong. Yeah, ain't nothing wrong.
I'm not gonna keep making friends, but it's like, bro, like either you some shit, you gonna play, like you gonna be on the team. Like yo, some dudes I play with some
You
shit.
do
Like
special needs and go play in the
Let Greg.
football championship.
I don't have no kids, right? I'm not gonna be the one that like.
I'm glad too. Your background.
Only thing you teach you is how to snap.
I'm also one of those kids that didn't play for my father. My whole career, I ain't played for my dad.
You didn't?
No.
Best thing
I
for you to do that. I never do this.
I don't know what it's like.
You play for me, big dog.
Yeah, and like they said though, it takes a village to raise a kid. Right? So I'd rather have, if it's a son or a daughter, I'm gonna turn over to the village. You know what I'm saying? I'll let Roach coach my daughter. She want to box, or my son want to box. Jamal basketball, Roy basketball. I'm gonna take them somewhere I know. You know what I'm saying? We got these connections. I done grown with these connections my whole life. But me personally, I can't do it. Football I can do. I still don't want to coach my own kid because I got nephews that I tried it and I'm way hard. I'm way hard on them.
A whole nother subject.
Yeah, I'm way hard on my nephews. I got a nephew that got a cannon. He can throw, but he's just a knucklehead that I couldn't coach. Like I just can't do it.
So Greg, you ain't play running back.
I did in high school. Yeah.
Hey, hold on, Greg. So hold on, you
I'm
did
sure
that.
that goes all you.
All right, so real quick. Now, give us the last word.
Oh, my last thing is, because I know we only got 3 minutes, David rushing us out. Him and Juice gotta go. But all I want to know is everybody in this room been involved in sports. What's one of your best sports moments to end on a good note? What's one of your best sports moments? Whatever sport you played.
I'll go real quick. I'll go real quick. My best sports moment is everybody talk about championship. My best moment is sitting around like this with all my former players, and I keep in touch with so many of my former players. To me, that's my biggest highlight of ever coaching. Over any championship, over any game.
Especially putting up that motherfucker.
Yeah, I had some headaches that I had to deal with, but no, that's really it for me.
I'm with you
Hold
on
on.
that.
To piggyback on his joint, my best sports moment is just when my former players come back and say thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for what you did. Thank you for investing in me. That's my best.
Okay, let me target this to the players so we can get the cornball moments out. Calvin, what you got, babe?
Old school ass.
My special moment was when I played for me.
My best
Nah, my jump senior year state championship felt back like I was back where I belong. You know what I mean?
Good stuff.
Greg,
Yeah, bro.
Oh, it's like,
Greg.
oh, it was saying, yeah, my track season taking states.
Little Rodney.
I think my greatest sports moment in my eyes, it wasn't even something that happened on the field. I think my best sports moment was me finally signing that paper to go to college.
I just can't do that. I just cannot do that.
I was about to say, I was gonna say that one, but damn, he took that one. When I signed, it felt like we all signed. So I'm like,
Hey, Jamal, I will definitely tell you this from all of us coaches. When every one time one of y'all signed, it's the greatest moment for all of us. Yes. That's why we coach right there.
I would say my greatest sports moment, like I would just say being a part of winning teams. Like, but like I done been a part of losing teams or losing, and that shit sucked. Like, but like that shit sucked, bro. So just all the way through, like being able to say I was a winner, and now I'm like winning in life, I guess you could say. Like, but like just like the whole recipe that got me to where I am today. Like, I would say my greatest sports moment is the fact that it led me to everything I'm on now. I guess you could say.
Q.
I would say my greatest sports moment was my junior year when I scored my first tub.
Okay.
Yeah.
Roy.
Shit. Winning the conference.
Chip.
Winning
Sure,
the
when that
conference
dunk on
in
you.
college. And then playing in March Madness.
Nice.
NCAA tournament.
I
did that.
Roach.
I didn't get to my greatest boxing yet. I didn't get to my greatest boxing sports moment yet. Because I think that would trump
over this one right here, and I hope it's on y'all radar too.
I got an idea, but I just want
We already know,
You
young.
already
You
know.
already know.
That
We like-
ice bowl, man.
Oh, man.
The guy-
Hey, Ron, I ain't gonna lie, that's not what I had in my mind.
That ice bowl.
That ice bowl. That's some easy shit.
-4 degrees, they had to melt the ice on the field so we could play. It was the first game.
Yep.
What
Yeah.
was that? The championship of
No, that was championship.
Yeah.
No,
6-0.
Yeah.
you know what I thought you was gonna say? That 90-yard run. Out of all the running backs we had, you had the longest run.
I was the slowest running back on the team.
And the longest run.
Almost every year I had the longest run. Y'all know that.
Certified.
Y'all don't
It was vicious.
I want to keep it going because there's some adults in here that play. I won't be late.
Glory days.
We're gonna start it soon.
Glory days.
The violin ready.
It's crazy because my greatest sports moment ain't what one would think was a great moment now that where I'm in right now. It was actually me completely separating my pelvis. Because it made me have to find out who I was outside of football.
Yeah.
Because as Maul said, for all of my life it was football. That's what it was. Like,
Man.
I know you learn how to scrap.
There you go with some bull.
I know what you
Well, I guess mine is, for me, actually playing overseas. I was in the Marine Corps. I guess that's my greatest sports moment.
Over top of that, breaking the long snap record.
Your greatest sports record when you was out there
Go
melting.
ahead, Juice, what you got?
You got the white
Three at a time.
I got a couple of different things, but man, for me, it's never really about me. I think my greatest moment was watching my son get in the game in an NCAA Division I college football game and playing. And I'm telling you, if it wasn't for people being around me, I probably would have cried in the bleachers. And everybody was looking like your son's going in, and I was like, I felt like I almost seen myself.
He cried. We was in the
The first time in 95 shows that he got the handicap right. For me, I think that was my proudest moment because it was at the end of the day, my sports was never about me.
You got your return on your investment.
Tubbs.
My biggest one was in high school. We was playing against Eastern.
He ain't really getting in, but go
And
ahead.
but I was playing center, man, and we do a screen. We do a screen play. And I got out in flats.
And hit that bull.
Now I got cut block this motherfucker for real. It's a big motherfucker. And I wasn't gonna hit him straight up, so I cut block him and ended up in the newspaper. And I got in the newspaper on a jive ass cut block. So that's my biggest moment.
Kind of the same. So in high school, I defied the odds and played offensive line. I was 160 pounds playing offensive line, and we went to play McKinley Tech. They had a kid that was going to like Oklahoma or some shit, and I had to block the whole game. And that's why I still coach offensive line. I teach the game of football as a game of angles because there's no way I was going to block him head up. But I believed in the game of angles, and I took the angles, and that once again led to a write-up in the paper about it, that he was ineffective that game. So that was my biggest moment.
Rodney?
I think mine is going back to.
I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. That's my guy. That's my guy.
No, what you say now?
I said that was Goons. The Juice said something.
No, I heard your mama go
No, I did not. I did not.
Mine was actually changing. We talk about legacy so much, and when I went into high school, we made a concerted, and I was a part of a group that made a concerted effort to change the legacy of what. So when I went into Suitland High School hadn't won for 18 years. They had been perennial losers.
10 seconds.
No. They had
He's saying that for Knox because they was perennial losers.
No. They've been perennial losers. They was the doorstep of the whole entire county.
Damn.
And so,
Damn.
so when we came in, we made a conscious choice, and by the time we left, that the Suitland you know of now is the Suitland that we built. So it's being a part of something bigger. That's why I kind of gravitate to as far as coaching something, being a part of something bigger.
So Knoxville was some trash back then. Tay,
Stone
Tay,
Cold. Good, bro.
Tay, go ahead, Tay.
My greatest sport moment.
Oh, let me introduce Tay. In case y'all don't know, I know Tubbs and Penny joke him a lot. Rodney and all them, but I coached him. We won the championship. He was my point guard. I watched him play quarterback. He one of the best quarterbacks I ever seen in basketball because he knew how to run that fake. Boy, he ran that thing like it was like he was the video. Now go ahead, Tay.
Nah, my greatest sport moment probably be nah, hell no, that's the worst. That's the worst, man.
Alright, let me see.
It's still going on though. When the love that I get from the kids.
So Tubbs don't know we in the show.
Oh, my bad. We on the show.
But like I'm saying, while I was rudely interrupted by this guy over here, man. My greatest sport moment is actually still continuing. As far as the love that I get from the kids, because I've been coaching forever for a long time, and you build relationships with kids.
Yeah.
Then when you see them as they develop as young men to adults now having kids, it's like, wow. Like, I'm really out here reaching out. I'm really still the same guy. Because if I'm still around them, I'm not one of those, like they stated earlier, guys, friends, coaches that was lost. They got lost. I'm still here. I'm still solid. So that's pretty much it for me. The love that I still receive.
Jump on, close us out.
Why you didn't tell me how you didn't want to play for me?
I'm just
we're talking about that sorry in the chef says you
Hey, man, we got people who got curfew. We gotta get off the show.
One of my greatest sports moments. One of them was the first one was seeing Juice at the same thing Rose said at that Bowie game, watching my biggest coaches, 6'5", 300, shed tears. Juice, Harvey, they was just boo-hooing. They couldn't even talk. They was crying so hard after that game. Rose, that was probably one of my best moments because right then I saw that staff that I put together,
That was a great staff.
they loved these kids and they loved the sport and they gave it all. My next one was we whooped the shit out of Takeover ass.
Oh yeah.
And they was ranked #1 in Baltimore. They was ranked #1 in the country. They tried to make us wear different uniforms. We told them we wasn't. And we went out there and whooped that ass. and shit. And then the last one was probably when I double pump dumped on my father and he scratched the shit out of my eyelid and shit. And I dumped it.
We can close this video.
Everything was good today.
Take us on out of here, Tay.
But how you not going to talk about the donuts?
That was a humorous moment. That was a great.
That was very humorous.
That was funny. That was a great moment.
What about you, Daddy?
Thank everybody.
Whoa.
Greatest sports moment?
That's not war.
Lakers.
Probably my greatest sports moment came later in life when I started doing jiu-jitsu. And that shit was like, that shit, when I found out that shit like really worked, because I was skeptical when that shit really worked, that shit was like a great moment for me. So
I'm gonna tell y'all, he broke all the rules of martial arts. He come in the shop and put that shit on people. They tell you first that you gotta be humble, respectful.
you gotta be humble.
This nigga,
Fight rules, all that. But that was
one
of my later life greatest sports moments, man. Even when I played soccer, we had a little championship back when I was living in Germany, believe it or not. And just, going home, winning the game, getting that trophy and everything. Football, I didn't play football. I went out, but, music and the girls looked after football, did baseball. But later in life, when I got into jiu-jitsu and martial arts, that was a highlight for me. So anyway, man, we're going to go ahead and close this thing out, man. DJ Bam getting ready. 98 Square on the Fairway Road. Just Right Barber Lounge.
How do you get in touch with Bam? How do you get in touch with DJ Bam?
How do you get in touch with Bam? Bam, how do you get in touch with you?
Instagram DJ Bam E, Facebook DJ Bam E.
One more time, man. Say it a little slow.
DJ Bam E on Instagram and DJ Bam E on Facebook.
If you need a DJ, make sure you get in touch with Bam. it definitely makes sure your event is like that. So from all of us, we'd like to thank all the players that came through, shared their stories, that athlete life, academic life, student athlete will through day, and they experience a lot of things at young age, but they push through it, they sacrifice, and they want to be the best that they can be. So we'd like to thank everybody for coming through. DJ Band, take us away.
I got niggas gone on a long road day. May never come home. Bitches hit me, told me, baby, come home. I can put the money on hold. We drink a mess, ain't like we catch a cold, but we better never catch a cold. She tryna hold on to me, baby. Kept me close, but she better never let me go. We won't bend break, we won't never fold. Nah, nigga, we ain't flexible. I just went up a whole another level. I just put crushed ice in the bezel. I rock the chains like gold medals. If she wanna leave, I ain't gon' sweat her. If you leave, it ain't gon' get no better. We pushing Rolls Royce, rose petals. I'm different from them, we ain't in the same boat. We don't for the same hole. We just wet the block when the chains close. Better wear your raincoat. Now with two guns on me, leave in the ring, go. I just pray my niggas never change. I got niggas gone on the long road. Made enough, just hit me, told me, baby, come home. I can put the money on hold. Drink a methazine like we catch a cold, but we better never catch a cold. She tryna hold on to me, baby, kept me close, but she better never let me go. I know niggas get it here from Mexico, and we got gas like a Texaco. My niggas know some secrets if they ever told. I be going back federal, my wrist in the pot. I been trying to shrink the bowl. I'm serving water to dip with the weather bowl. I'm zero running, I still got go catch the load. I've been on fire, they told me I'm next to blow. I'm different from them, we ain't in the same boat. Ain't nobody came close. Ain't no niggas running with the same mode. We been riding rifles in the Range Rover. I got some pain, gotta let the pain go. I can't let the pain show. They told me right after the rain go, little nigga, you gon' see a rainbow. I got niggas gone on a long road day. May never come home. Bitches hit me, told me, baby, come home. I can put the money on hold. We drink a methazine like we catch a cold, but we better never catch a cold. She tryna hold on to me, baby, kept me close, but she better never let me go.
Hey, don't scratch with the
It don't happen as much with the G-spot.
I did look at the package before to make sure that I was like, okay, I can do that. I can do that.
Yes, you know, ain't no race in the world been through what Black African Americans have been through. But also that came along with the program, came along with this, and the fear. The least amount of power. Yeah, the least amount of power. You gonna take that.
I'm gonna ask you a question. Can the president make a law his own?
The ones in that Capitol, that was a front to anybody that's in here that ever said, I'm American. For years, and hundreds of years, white people always felt that it's not theirs and they can take it.